Well, today's episode, I'm going to share with you a medical issue that I had for decades that the doctors told me that there is no cure for. I'm going to have to live with it and suffer through it for the rest of my life. They told me there's no way out, basically. I've got to deal with it. But microdosing totally cured it. I'm going to share everything with you on today's episode and a lot more. We're going to answer a lot of really great questions from you. I am Dr. Dave. Welcome to Microdose U. So yes, I've had this medical issue for, I would say, easily 4 decades. And the medical issue I'm referring to is psoriasis. Now, it's not a life-threatening disease or anything like that, but it's really debilitating, especially when your skin is red with rashes and scaly messy things all over the place. It's really bad. And also that can cause other things. And it's an autoimmune disease. And that can cause psoriatic arthritis, which could be very, very serious. And it's something that's really, really tough to deal with. And again, it's debilitating. It just stays with you for your whole life. And my doctors and dermatologists over many decades pretty much gave me creams, medications, pills, potions, you name it. They gave it to me, telling me that do the best I can, but it's going to be with me forever. Fast forward to today, speaking to you in the middle of, towards the end, middle to end of 2025, my psoriasis has been totally cured. I'd say for probably about close to a year now. When I say totally cured, I mean absolutely no sign of it anywhere. It's not just there's a little bit here, a little bit there. No, it's totally, totally gone. And it's been that way for enough time that I know it's not coming back. Now, what did I do? What did I do differently? How did microdosing magic mushrooms cure a disease process that the doctors that are all trained in medicine and they've gone to school for many years and they've done residencies and internships, residencies, and years and years and years of experience, and they did not know how to cure psoriasis. And I did it. How did the mushrooms do it? How did I do it? Well, it was a long haul. I experimented with a lot of different things. Even before microdosing, I experimented with a gluten-free diet. And believe it or not, that pretty much took it down about 80%. But it was still there. It was there, and I knew something was wrong, and it's an inflammatory process that's throughout your entire body. It's not just a skin thing, but it's inflammation through your entire body. Autoimmune, it's not a good thing at all. But through the microdosing of magic mushrooms for 4+ years, it's gone. And it's not the mushrooms themselves. In other words, if you just start microdosing magic mushrooms and you've got psoriasis, it's probably not going to go away. It's a little more complex than that. You see, there's a lot of integration that goes along with this. There's a lot of things that I learned to do through the magic mushrooms, but I'm going to share that with you right now. So if you have psoriasis, or if somebody in your family has it, or a friend, listen carefully. And not only psoriasis, but many other medical conditions. I've seen some other little medical things that I've had for quite some time go down and get better and improve and go down to zero or almost zero. So if it's not the actual magic mushrooms that did it for me, that cured my psoriasis, what was it? What was it about the mushrooms that cured my psoriasis? Well, as you probably remember, especially if you've been following me for some time now, you know that I started using magic mushrooms, psilocybin, for mental health issues such as depression and anxiety. That's why I started, because my anxiety was becoming debilitating and my depression was getting worse. And I had some things from PTSD and more, you name it. I know I've got some OCD and ADHD and a lot of stuff. I'm kind of a mess, or I was kind of a mess. But I started magic mushrooms to get rid of all that stuff. But once that started getting better, I also started learning a lot more about my body, about my health, about my life, and more from these magic mushrooms that we call teachers. They teach you. It's not just like popping a pill and feeling better. No, they teach you what's going on with your body and in your life. So it wasn't immediate. I'm not going to say that this cured my psoriasis the first year even, because it didn't. I'd be telling you something that's not true. It took some time, but it was so worth it. What I learned from the magic mushrooms, basically after my mental health issues started greatly improving, the mushrooms started teaching me more about my physical health also. Blood pressure, my heart, so many things. They started teaching me how to optimize my health and my physical life and my athletics and my hiking, running, skiing, all the stuff that I do really started improving. But I also noticed, again, it was slowly but surely, my psoriasis was dwindling down to almost nothing. And now it's nothing. But what are some of the things I learned? What are some of the things I did to get my psoriasis better? Through the mushrooms. Well, they taught me how to have better sleep. One of the things is I got treated for sleep apnea, but not only that, I've learned proper sleep hygiene. I learned how to sleep properly through the night. And sleep is crucial because it's an anti-inflammatory process. When you go to sleep at night, it is resetting so many things in your body. And when you don't sleep well, you're in a constant state of fight or flight. You're in a constant state of inflammation. A lot of the repair processes that are supposed to take place during sleep don't take place if you're not sleeping properly. So without going into a whole lot of detail about sleep, the magic mushrooms taught me how to have a much better night's sleep. And if you don't think that's important, if you don't think that starts curing a lot of these medical issues, think again. You're wrong. They got me eating better. I was vegan. And the vegan diet was literally killing me, I think. I believe it was. Because when I went back to more of a omnivore, carnivore, anti-inflammatory diet, I make sure I eat foods that are gut healthy. Everything started changing. And again, the mushrooms taught me how to do this. The supplements that I take a list of supplements. I think I take probably 10 different supplements every single day. I've been doing this for quite some time, and they help because I feel better. And again, my psoriasis is totally, totally gone. And a lot of people ask me, well, Dr. Dave, what supplements what do you take? What are they? I want to know what these supplements are. And although I take them for, everybody's different, I take them for me, and maybe your list of supplements might be a little bit different. I'm happy to share the exact supplements that I take every single day. And I actually started a little Amazon list and store that I share everything that I do every single day, and the list of supplements is on there. So go to the show notes or onto my website, and it'll point you towards my Amazon store, and you can see. Because every once in a while I used to give a list. I used to talk about them, but now you can find out about them so easily just by going to my website, microdoseu.com, microdoseu.com. Or even easier, the show notes, wherever you're listening or watching, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, the links are there. And the link to my Amazon store with all my supplements and everything else I use on a regular basis, they're right there. I just try to make it so easy for you. So those are some of the other things I did. I said I removed gluten, sugar, highly processed foods from my diet. The mushrooms have taught me how to reduce stress and be much less anxious. How to have the proper mindset to live the healthiest way. And also, believe it or not, how to breathe properly. Yeah, most people don't breathe properly. I mean, we all breathe. If we're living, we breathe, but a lot of people breathe through their mouth. A lot of people breathe just they just don't do it right. And I learned a lot about breathing. The mushrooms taught me and guided me exactly how to do this. So Again, it's not a simple overnight fix, and anybody that tells you that is not really doing you a service. However, again, going back to my doctors, all my doctors, including some of the greatest dermatologists over 4 decades, couldn't couldn't get this right. And here I am, just a regular guy. Yeah, I'm a dentist by profession. I do have a doctor's degree, yes. But in dental school and even in medical school, they don't teach you all this stuff. But the mushrooms have taught me this. And again, everything I've learned and everything I've incorporated into my life has not only totally gotten rid of psoriasis. Oh, you should have seen me. If you would have seen me 3 years ago, you would have seen scaly patches all over my skin, especially my elbows, my knees, my knuckles, many places. It was really bad. I used to try to cover it up with creams and lotions and long sleeve shirts and long pants. It was terrible. But now I'm happy to actually show off my skin because it's clean and really good and it looks pretty young. I mean, not many wrinkles at all or anything. For 70 years old, I mean, my skin is good. And yes, I owe a lot of it. Some of it is genetics, but the genetics did not help me with the psoriasis. So I owe a ton of this to the mushrooms, to psilocybin, to totally changing my life. Now, I've got some really good questions here from people that have written in, a lot of them from YouTube. I've got a question from our Patreon group that keeps coming up quite a bit, and many different ways. People email me, message me, whatever. However you want to get a question to me, I'll try my best to answer. But speaking of Patreon, I just want to spend a second on this because for so many reasons, people are asking about Patreon, our Patreon page, platform. That's a better word, Patreon platform these days. It's an adjunct. It's an add-on to what you're doing right here, what you're listening to or watching right here. It's wonderful. And we've got what I think is like the greatest family of people ever on this Patreon platform. We're supportive of each other. We're kind. We help each other. And also we talk about a lot of the things that we just simply don't talk about here on a totally public profile. If you ask me hey, Dr. Dave, where do you get magic mushrooms? I won't tell you here. It's public, and I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But on Patreon, since it is a paid platform, and by the way, we keep it super, super inexpensive, very affordable. Since it's I'm not going to edit, guys. I'm keeping this raw and dirty and real today, okay? Just like I did with the last episode. Since it's a paid platform, it's a private group, and we are a little more free to discuss the things that we just can't discuss here in public. And I also want to give a shout out to some of the brand new members. We're getting new members every single day on Patreon, and it's just a great group. So I want to give a shout out to Mikey, Bill, Diomedes, Dustin, Jim, Manny, Sabine, Marina, Jay, Zachary, Charlie, Linda, Rainey, and a lot more. As you can see, we're getting many new members every single day, and we also have an additional platform for our Patreon members on WhatsApp, and we've got like a group there that it's going 24/7. You've got a question, it gets answered in a really kind way by all of our members there. It's really, really great, and I just can't stress enough how this family of people has blossomed from. I've been doing the Patreon thing for over a year and a half now, going on 2 years. And when it first started, it was rough. I didn't have enough members, and we didn't really know what to do. But now it's a really beautiful family, and I just want to stress, we're not looking for people to come in for a very short amount of time, like a month, and then just leave. We're not looking for that. I mean, you can do it theoretically. It's frowned upon because, again, family stays with family. And once you're in, we like people to stay and hang out and get to know each other. And we do these live live meetings every 2 weeks where we have a topic and go deep. And I mean very deep. So it's not too late. We haven't closed it out yet. But like I said a few episodes ago, if it gets too much, too busy, we don't want this family to get too big. And I will close it and start a waiting list if I have to. I will do that if we have to. I just don't want it to, I don't want it to get out of hand. Okay. Enough with Patreon. I hope you join. I hope to see you there on the other side. So I want to answer some of these questions I have here. And they're really good ones. And I saved up a bunch of like kind of medical questions. And these, because I talked about my psoriasis healing and again, nothing, there's no hint or evidence of psoriasis anywhere. But so these are questions that are also medically related. Let's just get started with them. Hey, Dr. Dave, ever since I started microdosing, I've been sleeping deeper than I have in years. Is there actually a connection between psilocybin and better sleep, or is it more about stress reduction? Oh, and I forgot to say who it's from. It's from @BigHappyThoughts. I think that one came from YouTube, actually. Well, yeah, there's definitely a connection. And microdosing helps quiet down that racing mind so you can actually wind down at night. I wouldn't say it's not a sedative. So again, it's not a sleeping pill. It's not a sedative. It's nothing like that. But it resets your rhythm, and it definitely lowers stress. And when stress drops, the sleep gets better. And also, psilocybin. It's a teacher. So it guides you and teaches you how to sleep better. And once you sleep better, your life changes. I will promise you that once you sleep better, your life is totally, totally different. And again, too many people out there have sleep apnea that they need to get checked. Because that's a real serious. It will really tear your life apart. That's probably a better way to say it. Second question from Tina in Colorado: can microdosing psilocybin help regulate blood pressure by calming the nervous system, or would that be more from the lifestyle changes that come along with that? Well, it's a really good question, Tina in Colorado. We got a lot of questions from Colorado for some reason. It's very common. I'm not sure. I can't tell you why, but the Colorado people are hanging with us, and many others from all over the world, actually. Well, it's the relationship between blood pressure and psilocybin. It's mostly indirect. See, when you're calmer, more mindful, and when you're living cleaner, the blood pressure responds by going down, getting healthier, getting better. So psilocybin doesn't really treat the blood pressure, Tina, but the lifestyle that often follows microdosing absolutely can. It's the same thing with psilocybin and psoriasis. No, you don't eat mushrooms and your psoriasis automatically gets better. No, it doesn't work like that. It teaches you, it changes your lifestyle. All these things you learn about living cleaner, living healthier, and that's what does it. Next question from Mark P. You've mentioned how your psoriasis cleared up. Do you think that was mostly from lowering inflammation, improving your diet, or something deeper like mindset and stress? Well, definitely all the above. And I just did talk about that coincidentally. The mushrooms, let's say they opened the door, but it was everything else that I changed. Diet, sleep, mindset, stress levels. When you stop fighting yourself internally, your body stops showing it externally. And yeah, like I said, psoriasis is much more than, and if you have any kind of skin problem, it's much more than a skin rash or whatever it might be. There's something going on inside your body that's surfacing on your skin. So whenever you see a skin problem, remember there's something going on inside as well. Next question from Wanderer 2024. What's the link between microdosing and heart health? Does it improve circulation or heart rate variability in any measurable way? Well, I've seen my heart rate variability. And if you're not sure what heart rate variability is, it's a measurement of the fight or flight versus parasympathetic, which is the calming of the autonomic nerve. When the autonomic nerve system calms you down, you're resting, relaxing. But a lot of people, like me, for example, I felt like I was always in the fight or flight. I was always on edge, and that's not a good way. That's going to cause all kind of problems, including inflammatory processes and everything. But yeah, I've seen my heart rate variability, and the higher the number, the better for that. And my Apple Watch tracks it. If you got some kind of like smartwatch, it tracks it. And my HRV, heart rate variability, has gone up significantly since I started microdosing, significantly. And again, it's not the psilocybin that does it, but it's telling me how to exercise better, how to eat better, how to be in better cardiovascular shape. It teaches me all that stuff. So yeah, my heart rate variability from my age especially is really, really good. In fact, if I let's check really quick on my iPhone right here, I could just tell you real quick, and you can look this up if you want. But my average over the past, let's just say, let's to be fair, let's take the last 6 months. My average is 73 milliseconds, which is way above average, especially for a 70-year-old, way above average. So do some research on that. See what yours is. Again, the higher the number, the better. But I'll challenge you to have a heart rate variability greater than 73, which mine is. I'll challenge you because I think I'm pretty far up there. And again, I owe it to my change in lifestyle from the mushrooms. Next question. This is a question that came in that's always talked about in our Patreon group about sleep, and I wanted to bring this up because, as a matter of fact, yeah, this next live meeting that we're doing on Patreon, if you become a member, we're doing this for all of our paid members. We're going deep, no pun intended, but we're going deep into sleep. We're going to be talking about sleep and how you can have much better health from a better night's sleep. We're going to be talking about that. So it's not too late to sign up for this. If you're listening to it, we're going to be doing this on our next live meeting, which is coming up. If you're listening to this on a Wednesday when it comes out, it's going to be the following week. So it's not too late to join us. It's going to be an amazing live meeting. And I didn't read the question yet. So I'm going to read the question. The question is, how does sleep better contribute to overall healing when someone's on a microdosing journey? Well, sleep is when again, like I said already, sleep is when your body fixes everything. And microdosing doesn't replace good sleep habits, and it's not going to put you to sleep. It doesn't work like that. But it teaches you what to do. It helps you value good habits more. It's things like, I mean, it even taught me how to stop scrolling at night, how to have a properly lit room, actually dark room, cool room, all the hygiene things that you do. And plus, again, there's so many things that go into it, which we taught. It's just, that's just the surface. But it taught me so many things. And I'd be lying if I told you that I have a perfect night's sleep every night. There are some nights that I wake up, or I should say some mornings, like 3:30 a.m., and it's difficult for me to get back to sleep. But the cumulative effect of years now, several years of much, much better sleep has improved my health. And again, I'm going to give it a lot of credit to curing my psoriasis. Sleep is a major factor in that. Next question, if someone has high blood pressure or takes heart medication, is microdosing safe? Should they talk to a doctor first? Well, so my disclaimer, and I used to say it more than I say it now, but none of this is medical advice. So always talk to your doctor, especially if you're on meds. Most people do fine with microdosing, even if you're on medications. If you've got medical issues, most people do fine, but it's always smart to check to make sure there are no interactions. Be responsible. And again, tell your doctor that you are microdosing or thinking about microdosing. Don't be ashamed of it. Tell your doctor everything that's going on. If your doctor doesn't accept it, then I think it might be time to find a new doctor. But you don't want to hide anything from your doctor. My doctor knows everything I do. At first, I've done an episode on this. She wasn't in favor of it. She was not in favor of me using psilocybin. But after I told her that it's a microdose and how it's helped me, she's on board. At least she doesn't bother me about it anymore. But at least she knows what I do. It's very, very important. Next question. Have you noticed any direct changes in your resting heart rate or HRV since you began? And HRV is heart rate variability. So we just talked about that a little bit before, since you began microdosing. That's from Little Spaceman. Yes, so I already talked about heart rate variability. Let me tell you about my resting heart rate. And again, I'm going to challenge anybody. My 6 month, so for the last 6 months, my resting heart rate is 42 beats per minute. Some people would be very alarmed. Say, that's dangerous. It's only dangerous if you got some kind of heart disease, or if you've got symptoms like, yeah, if you're dizzy, tired, weak, then yeah, that's a problem. My resting heart rate of 42, I am never like tired during the day. When I exert myself from workouts, I never get tired, dizzy, feel faint, or feel nauseous, nothing like that. So that means that my heart is regulated down. It only needs to beat, and when it's in a resting state, only needs to beat 42 times a minute. So that's telling me that my heart is healthy and it's pumping enough blood throughout my body and oxygenating all my tissues and organs and whatever, that it only has to do it 42 times a minute. That's a win. A win. Because the heart doesn't have to work as hard. Again, the good thing about having an Apple Watch, you learn so much about your health. Again, I do heart rate variability, resting heart rate. There's so many more things. I won't even go into them right now. Next question. A lot of us who microdose also start eating cleaner and exercising more. Do you think the mushrooms encourage that, or is it more that they make us care about ourselves again? Both. Like I've been talking about on this episode, they get you to understand your body and your health more. And I want to emphasize again, this does not happen overnight. I'm 4.5 years in, guys. 4.5 years in, and it's getting better and better all the time. So if you're one of these people that just wants an overnight success, this is not an overnight sensation. It's not overnight success, no, but it does work. I mean, I promise you, it does. Number 9, next question, number 9, it's from the Coffee Buddha. Could microdosing help people with autoimmune issues like psoriasis by balancing the stress response, basically calming the body so it stops attacking itself? Again, that's what I've been talking about this episode. Yes, autoimmune, whether it's, psoriasis or other types of autoimmune diseases. Absolutely yes, because everything is connected. When stress hormones settle down, the immune system calms down too. Psilocybin helps you regulate that emotional response that keeps the body inflamed. And when you get rid of the inflammation, when you go more into a parasympathetic mode, the relaxation mode, then how do you think your body's going to take that? It's going to love that. Your body does not want to be in sympathetic fight or flight mode all the time. It doesn't want that. And when you go into the parasympathetic mode more, your body is rewarded. Your body rewards you. It gives you something back. Less disease, less medical issues. Last question. If someone wants to microdose for physical health reasons, better sleep, lower blood pressure, less inflammation, how should they set their intention differently than someone doing it just for anxiety or depression? That's from Leo, by the way. That's a really good question. And I kind of answered that indirectly because, as I said, when I first started microdosing, it was all about the depression and anxiety. All about that. I didn't even think about the other stuff. I didn't think there was even a possibility it was going to help me with all these other medical things. I didn't think, but it does. But I would recommend go in gently. Don't chase the cure. Don't say I'm microdosing because I want my sleep to be better, or I want my blood pressure to be down, or I want my psoriasis to be gone. No, you go into it with the intention of this is going to help me in so many ways, and some of the ways I don't even know what they are yet. This is you talking, by the way. You're starting. So you want it because it helps so many different bodily issues, medical issues. It helps so many different things. So the physical changes follow the mental and emotional shifts. So yeah, for me, it was mental and emotional stuff first, then the physical changes. And also because, again, think about this, when you're not depressed and not anxious, again, how's the body going to respond? In a very, very positive way. I got a brand new episode that comes out every Wednesday, every single Wednesday. If you haven't gone to my website yet, it is Microdose U. Check all the show notes. We're here for you. So many people are looking for help, looking for community, looking for somebody just even to give you a virtual hug and say, you're going to be okay. You're going to be all right. And you found the right place. I've got to tell you, this wasn't even part of the show. Sometimes if I think of something just off the cuff, I'm just going to say it. I listen to a lot of other podcasts on psychedelics, on psilocybin, mushrooms, whatever it might be, mental health. I listen to a lot of them. And I just don't think sometimes that the hosts can connect with people that are really, really hurting. They're just spouting out facts and just almost like reading stuff and talking about studies. But that doesn't mean they're connecting with people. That doesn't mean they're truly, truly helping somebody out there who just looking for some guidance and looking for some help and looking for a support team, looking for a family. That's what we've got here. This is Microdose U. I am Dr. Dave. I love you. Talk to you soon.